the African restaurant scene. I didn't put in detail the dish that you told me to put. I think it was something with fish, correct?
Yeah, if you can put a whole fish.
That's right.
Yeah, like on the plate, if it could be a whole fish, and then on the sides, some it's fufu, so it's like a potatoes, but it's like lumped, right? And then
Uh-huh.
some greens. I'll send you some pictures so you can really see what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
But and when I say whole fish, I want that head on it. I want the fish kind of smiling in a weird way, like a weird smirk.
Okay. All right. That'll work. That'll work. It's gonna go right here. The fish is gonna go right here.
Okay.
Right there in the middle. Okay?
Yeah.
How that work? Does that work?
That works. That works.
And then in the background, I'm gonna have the window here, all right? And outside the window, you'll see a street. You know, not too much detail, but know that we are in a restaurant. If you can have some stuff back here, just to show that it is a restaurant.
Okay. Instead of a street, can I be peeking in the window?
That's not. That's how creepy. Oh man. Oh Lord. Here you are right here, man.
Okay.
Here you are.
Okay. And then
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be peeking, and then on the wall, I want to have, if it's not too much work, the Cameroon and the Cameroon and Nigerian flag on the wall.
On the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we can put it on this side, right here. I was gonna put the entrance here, but we don't need to do that. We could just put the flag here.
Okay.
Can you see the picture of the flags?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just sent you via Facebook the picture of what the fufu and the aru dish, because what I'm saying in this piece is I am introducing the African culture and the diversity, but I'm also, because I've done some research, I'm also introducing healthy food, because this is healthy food minus the palm oil they use to cook the aru, but you don't have to have that. But I want to put, like, introduce food. I'm a big foodie. So I want that to be there, and I like how you let me see. So you say you want a picture of the flags, right?
Yep.
You've never dealt with a literary agent, have you?
No, I haven't. There was one person that I was going to be my publicist. That didn't work out. Other than that, no, I haven't.
Okay. You know what it takes to be a literary agent?
What?
Calling yourself a literary agent.
That's like what it takes to be a promoter.
Yeah, or a publicist even. That's why we've added we say it in the name, Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm, because everybody and their mama is either a publicist or consultant, but consulting can range in such a way. So then they say, what type of consultant? Well, we do everything from medical to, government and entertainment if you want. But yeah.
Wow.
But I start off with the medical because I want them to know we actually went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sending you a picture of the African headdress that I'm thinking of, because that was so vague when I had said that. But
Okay.
and because there's so many types, but I have one and people are gonna say, but I only see that at weddings and at church. Well, you know what? You see it at the restaurant now.
There you go. There you go.
You
Get
know,
used to it.
yeah, get used to it. That's why that last session with my wife, man, it got too real. I need to. I need to remember I gotta chill because I this is my art, and I tell her there has never been a time I came in your hospital and started telling you, no, cut here during surgery or while you're reading something. So don't do that to my art because I don't know, it might just be me. Um she'll sometimes, say I'm a devo, but I really think artists are inspired by the moment, and if you don't let the moment come out, you could lose a moment. and
I
so
agree. It's like a spontaneity thing. It takes a minute for that oil to get hot, but once it's hot, you got to grab the moment. You got to grab it and hold on to it. Because if you don't, it just dissipates.
yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I just she had too much going on. But and I like this head tie that you have. But if you can, if we can see just what the different type of headdress that I sent, what that will look like, because this one, I mean, with the right colors, which I'd love to stick with the Cameroonian and our
Okay.
Nigerian colors. I need to push Cameroon, but I also need
Okay.
I also need to represent Nigeria. My heritage goes back to Cameroon, Mali, and Nigeria, and the majority is Nigeria. But we need
How do
to
you spell?
uh I sent the flag to you. It should be on there. It should be on there. So
Okay.
it's just the E instead of the A.
Okay. Oh, got it.
Yeah. But even if like the restaurant colors, if we were to use Cameroonian and like, oh, this is good. This is good right here. How you have the kitchen, the table mat,
Mm-hmm.
that could be the Cameroonian flag with the star where the people can actually see it.
Oh, you talking right about here?
Yeah. And they can see the Cameroonian flag there, and then they see the Nigerian flag, on the wall.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. They see the Nigerian flag. I'm just trying to have things not be so obvious and be as creative as possible. And if we're gonna have this window, um, you remember when we
Because
were
I was gonna put Kirk right here, and you're gonna be right over here.
okay, and because when you were talking about the street, remember I don't want any like space that we want to cover all space. So instead of a street, remember how we had that billboard and we tagged the company?
Yeah.
I want to have a billboard and I'm gonna tag a company. I don't know which one yet, because
Okay.
I'm gonna do a different one for a different for different things. Like I have so many so many websites and so many things, but we'll put a billboard up there and just make it busy
Gotcha.
without.
Something like this. There's your billboard right there. Or maybe that's too.
Is that too what?
Is that too cluttered?
No. Um. I don't. It won't be. It won't be. My head may have to, just come maybe more in the middle, or but and me peeking is it's just fun. I mean, I don't even know how many people will notice some of this stuff. But
That yeah. That really takes it kind of a. It makes it almost. Of course, it's a children's book, but it's also a game.
yeah, Yeah. And in that I'm the same character, people will be like, huh? That's the, it's the same character reappearing. So I don't think it'll be too creepy. I don't expect my other half to get this part, but that's okay.
Okay, here we go. How about the sister here with the garment? Any ideas as far as, do you want to just wear regular clothes, or what we want to go with?
Well, she has the headdress. Um let- I'm getting some weird ideas. Like if she was to wear, even if her shirt was like a flag, but I don't know. I don't think I want it to be. I don't think I want it to be. I might put Ghana in there. Like, oh, her shirt could be like Ghana, the Ghana flag.
Interesting. Mm.
And now all of Africa, of West Africa, is more of West Africa is being represented.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna overshare some information for you. Um, because when we do the text will be easy, right? That's the easy part.
Yeah, that's the text is not a problem.
This book is gonna be in English and in French
Oh wow.
because the American market's not the only market, and we're gonna hit Africa, and we're gonna hit France, and they're gonna be bugging us all. um, but because my wife speaks French and she speaks a couple other languages, but we're gonna do, just swap out the text and the font, boom, and we're gonna have two books because we're creating our own narrative, and making our own stories. So
And
I'm,
the characters seem to be, the branding is clearly rock solid at this point. Uh, Everybody loved the characters. They love the girls.
oh, you've been getting some feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. From fellow artists or from scientists? or or regular people?
from just regular people. I've been sharing on Instagram. I've been sharing your posts. I've been popping them on my page, and the response has been favorable.
Awesome.
And this is what I anticipated. That's why the character development I felt was really, really important.
Yes, yeah, and I'm glad that for my wife was to be able to be a part of that piece because
Absolutely.
that woman's touch. But now when we go into cartoon mode, um, you know, things don't.
If it wasn't for your wife, man, I would have had them looking like Iron Man and the Hulk. You just don't know where it would have gone.
I believe it. I believe it. I just sent you to Senegal's flag, and maybe that could be on the roof where you just put English and French.
Okay.
That might be able to be on the roof. I don't want any blank space, and the whole flag doesn't have to be there, but just enough where people can say, okay, you guys thought about this, you took some time, you knew your demographics, because I would love all kids to read this book, but I also have to know in Kentucky, when they see this book, the black kids are going to first, and the parents are going to say, oh, wait, what is this? I ain't never seen this. And then if those conscious others, whether it be Caucasian or Asian, and they want their kids to see other people because they know the world is a global village, they get it. And they start to learn, and they say, wow, you guys took your time to really think about this. But I have to think about us first, because that's where, That's is us, and that's what every community should do.
Absolutely. It starts in the community and then it goes out.
Yeah, and so that's why I understand when we hear people say things on TV and we're not always included, but we have to tell them we're here to give us our piece. But I'm yeah, this looks really really good, and those curtains can be even some of these African colors. You can, yeah, this I like this a lot.
Yeah, this one's really gonna be special.
Yeah.
And the way all these illustrations are, if we have to trim around it, we can, and it won't take away from what's happening in the story. So keep that in mind. If we have to trim around, when I mean trim around, just soften the edges, almost like an airbrush, soften the edges if we have to.
Okay, yeah, no, that part. I'm not the oracle. I just come up with some ideas, and what can works and what doesn't. I mean, I again, the creative, that piece that's on the Illustrator.
Hey.
Because that I'm not, nor do I want to pretend. And even if I went to school, I it just wouldn't happen. They'd pass me just because they'd be tired of me saying, "Hey, what about this? What about this?" But yeah, this is yeah, and so and if I'm just smiling in that, without the hands, if I'm just smiling in the window, that's fine too. So then I don't look too much like a creeper.
So basically,
yeah, and and I could have my African chief's hat that you drew, and just yeah, that's people have been telling me that, like, Kellen, I'm excited to see it. I said, if you're that excited, go to the Patreon and support, because y'all aren't doing that yet.
Action speaks louder than words. Period.
All day, and I get that my Patreon is for if you really want to learn behind the scenes, which everyone's not interested in making a children's book. But when they see how much fun this is, they will. I may give one episode for free later on, because this is going from Patreon to a what we call a DVD, whatever that means, next year.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna edit it up myself, and if you ever record yourself talking about your illustration and this and that, send it to me. I'll put that on. I'm just gonna package something,
I got
just real tough, because people. I wish there was a movie I could watch on this, and I'm watching everything on YouTube I can. I got 5 books from the library on children's books, and I've read 2.5 of them already. But there's not enough information on the process.
It's almost it depends on the author. It depends on the illustrator. Publishers have their own illustrators and they do it a certain way. I believe in uniqueness. I believe in if it's one children's book, I can understand, but at the direction you and the missus is going, character development is crucial, is key. Personality. We're on the same page when it comes to facial expressions. Mm-hmm. Facial expressions is very important. Movement in every page, lots of color, very good perspective. It doesn't have to be anything really, really fancy. Not too hard, not too soft. And just let the words, let the pages have to be almost where they don't have to be words, but the words are there.
Yeah, the words are and that's you've been doing this a long time, but that's what every book that I've gone through so far, it says, what if the pictures weren't there? Could your words stand alone? And I'm like, for a picture book though, they say it doesn't have to, but the words could almost not, like you just said, could not be there, and you can get the story.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's like a silent picture.
Yeah. And that's where, yeah, and you know, so it's you know, I'm creating these different products just to show publishers and to show the business. We'll create it. We can make a demand for it. I got a 6-year-old over here sewing. I have the you know, working on getting the lady to do the glasses, and we can create our own products. You don't have to have a Nickelodeon gig. It's just like you said with your mugs. You didn't have call Nickelodeon to sell a bunch of mugs.
Oh no.
You know,
I just went to what's that site or what's the website? I got an account with them. I made some mugs and I suggested it, and lo and behold, people were interested in mugs.
Yeah. And so we don't have to wait for the big guys, because the big guys are tired of everybody waiting for them. You know, just start doing it. Put your money where your mouth is, and
there you go,
and show that you can do the work. And people, you know, maybe they come to you, but yeah, that's this looks really good. So is this the rough, the only rough you were talking about?
This is the only rough and the beach, but the beach, we pretty much got that squared away. So after we get off the phone, I'm cleaning this up. I'm going to send you the actual line work. After the line work, I'll go ahead and apply the color to both today. So these two should be pretty much done today.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Tell me this, on your animation, because I know, you know, do you do all your animation in the same type of format? Like, I know Gigi has its voice and its style, but are you able to mix it up if the character, you know, because our characters have a different personality? Are you able, like if Sydney is over there eating, and this is long-term thinking, if I wanted to show her eating, pigging out, could you do that?
Oh, sure. Because what I do is, on most of my animation, I start off in this software. And then from there, I inject it in the animation software. And I don't rate characters. I like to hand draw my characters. So I keep everything consistent. So if the way Sydney's eating here, I will draw it in its finest detail here, and then I will convert it as a PNG, no background, and dump it right in the animation software. Boom. And then all I do from there is from the next frame to the next frame to the next frame, onion skin, and just flow with it until she finished eating and put her fork down.
Oh, okay. And I'm always thinking long term, because I'm like, I you know, I'm just like, okay, what can be done? Because I'm gonna start going to all these literary conferences and workshops locally. You know, at the library, there's $1 billion worth of information, and I'm like, man, why didn't I tap into it before?
Well, it's something like this. I use Harmony. Now, this is one of my characters, Lanita. All right. And what I did originally was I started her in my drawing software.
Mm-hmm.
Once I did that, you know, it was easy to keep it consistent, and this was the result.
Okay.
Just something that I've been exercising with.
Okay. That's yeah, no, that's no, that's good. Okay, so yeah, we could have that. Yeah, so
it may not be a bad idea, man. Depending on how we're moving on schedule. Mm-hmm. It may not be a bad idea to have one of the girls in a walk cycle. It may not be a bad idea.
You say in a walk cycle?
Yeah.
Oh, movie. Oh, I don't want to put too much on you. Do what you.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, we're on schedule with this.
Uh-huh.
Walk cycles to me at this point don't take long. So that's why I'm saying, hey, the same way I did the storyboard, we're just talking have one of the little girls in a walk cycle, and you could just show them how she went from all these rough drafts to boom, now she's walking to show people this is where we're heading with it.
If it can be done, brother, let it be done in Jesus' name, because I know how these things go with clients, right? Like once the momentum goes, it's like if you weren't prepared in the past, now you're playing catch up. I don't want to play catch up, even with the big boys. I want to say, look, I got an illustrator. He has a team. If he needs help of people who can help him, we have our own social media team. This is what we need. I know what we need. I need access to bookstores and TV. And if you want to give us one of those deals where the studio wants to for a year see what they can do with it and all that, write that check too, because I'll take that check and we're gonna keep pushing. These girls before London was 5, went to 22 states, and she's visited 2 countries outside of the U.S. I got stories for days. I got stories on mommy's going to residency, and I will not run out of those. So, and stories, mommy's not home, career woman, where it focuses almost more on my wife's career and her being away without her being in the story necessarily. And that's when we kind of introduce her in. But I got stories for days to teach kids. Sometimes parents gotta work. And I just set up my life to be like this, to be at home where I'm comfortable in my sweatpants and shirt, and I want for the viewers and say, look, maybe I took a shower this morning, maybe I didn't even put deodorant on, but I'm happy creating.
There you go. See, now we're on the same page, my brother. Now we're on the same page.
Yeah.
You're sharing some of my own secrets.
Hey, Rod, when
the bonding is overwhelming. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, deodorant is optional.
And I can't wait to be on that level where I'm right by that beach, because if I want to create right from there or from that view, it's like, yes, this is what it's about. This is living.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
It is, and so it's so this is good. If you could just kind of send me like a sketch like this. What I'm doing on the Instagram is giving people now where we started in different roughs, because I can't once we're done, I can't give them the final, but people are like, you're giving away the book. I said, no, people, you don't get it. I said, only the haters say things like this. I'm not giving away the book. I'm highlighting our roughs. You think this is the best work we got? This is the second, third string. This is the first thought. This.
Yep.
And so, but people are really, they're really naturally. I haven't even done one Instagram trick on this thing yet, and people, they're engaging.
I did I posted, the first thing I posted was that little storyboard. And man, it did pretty darn good. It did good. I think I peaked at about 100 likes on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. That's I gotta see that. Let me
or where you're gonna be digging through some stuff. And I've got at least almost 3,000 posts. It's all the way down at the bottom.
This is under your Ron Bryant, right?
No, this is under cut_and_GG.
Okay.
And what I did, I didn't post it as an actual MP4 and then compressed it and send it up. What I did was I just took my smart tablet, popped it on the screen, had a little music play in the background, and I just let that particular part play. And when we went from the tumbleweeds to the Ferris wheel, and then from the perspective where the girls are looking up, that's what I played.
Wow. Okay, I'm still trying to find cut_GG.
Yeah, cut_and_GG.
Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm checking it out. You have, people are, they engage. You might not even have you don't have 114,000 followers, but the people, I can tell it's real, and you haven't bought anything.
Absolutely. There you go. Absolutely. I mean, my followers on Instagram, some of them came from Facebook, and they're organic. They're real. They're digging what they're seeing. So when I post something, they like it, they check it out, and it just kind of moves.
And when does your TV show start?
The TV show has already started. It started around the Atlanta. It's called the Original Negus. What I did was I did the introduction, and then I did the Brothers Graveyard. And now, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see some of the Brothers Graveyard. All right. As far as Gigi goes, I'm kind of holding back because I really think Gigi is ready for a bigger network now. I don't think with a smaller network. We got the followers. We got, she's got fans. We just need to get that one network that will give me the backing to keep this thing going. Hey, trust me, I love drawing, but I would love to have a team.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I would love to have some storyboarders. I've already got voiceovers, have some, I already got musicians. My son created the Gigi, the Gigi theme. And, but I would love to have some background artists and some storyboard artists and some animators. And I just kind of make sure everything is running the way it should run.
That's always the goal with this. It's before I even say that, are you going to the NATPE conference this year or next year?
Isn't that going to be in South Florida?
It's always in South Florida.
I'm going.
Yeah, have you ever been?
I've never been.
You need to go to that, because that's where all the producers are, and you come with your audience and this and that. I think we're sending my guy Rich this year because he's a professor and he can actually go for a lot cheaper than most people. But he's on our he does basically almost all the websites. And he I told him, I said, man, I'll send you there myself. Tell me what do you need? But he's doing some things with Akon right now, and but he's a teacher at Grambling, and so I was like, this is a must. I've never been personally, but I've had people who go. But yeah, you're right there. You gotta go talk with those producers.
Well, that's on my to-do list next year, and it's not too far from me. It's only 3 hours, I think. Maybe 3.
It's in Miami, but the trick is to go cheap. Go to the NATPE website, because it's always cheaper if you buy that early bird.
Okay.
And that's why we were talking about it last month with him. Like, just tell me, we need you to go there. I don't know what's going to be popping at that time, but we need someone out there networking real hard. I love to be there, but again, look where I'm at, and I got to buy at least three tickets to go with me.
Yeah, you sure do.
So
you ain't coming out here by yourself.
And I wouldn't want to, because I would be, I don't mind traveling alone on business. But when my wife and I a couple weeks ago went to Vegas for our first conference together for the healthcare stuff, I've never had that much fun, and we didn't do anything.
Wow.
And we sat there with people in the healthcare industry who are making $20 million, and they're like, yeah, we'll mentor you, we'll advise you. I call it consult because it's going to come with the cost. But, she also has some value for them. And I'm like, yeah, I always have to be around people bigger than me, wiser than me, more experience, or I don't learn anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I welcome it. I welcome it. I can't grow otherwise,
Yeah, and I've heard it preached too many times by too many pastors that, eagles and pigeons don't occupy the same space.
Nope, they don't.
So, I love to give speeches, and I can mentor people who think they're in a pigeon place, but you can't stay there because we going too high. You got this chance right here to do what I asked you to do to the next level. And that's where my team is built off of people I've met. And, with that London and Sydney site, my guy said, my guy Tyson, he said, that's why the only reason my guy Rich didn't do it. He said, Kellen, I build that for you now. I said, oh, okay. Done. It was done. It was done in 24 hours. And
amazing.
Yeah, and so I was like, when you treat people right and you don't try to finagle, like I told you when we started, that I know that woman who has her book done, the whole book for $150, and I say you can't. what type of you can't pay nobody in good conscience $150?
No way.
Even if they were on their last and they said this is such a blessing, I said this is too much work. I said it's too much work. But
there's so much thought behind it even before you even start.
Yeah. So yeah, we're good. We're good with this. I'm happy. So just let me know what else you need from me, and if tell me when we need to have another session, and I'm there.
I sure will. I'll send you this rough, and what I'll do is I'll go through my archive of roughs, and I'll start shooting them to you.
Okay.
Because I think I got probably a couple more roughs than you do, because I got a lot of roughs.
Okay.
All right. So I'll send them to your email. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, my brother.
All right. Be blessed.
You too.